Hey, what's the word? What's the word, y'all? I trust everybody is doing well. I just finished class and I wanted to make sure that I go live. I feel like this second year of my doctorate program is zooming by. It's zooming by. My last couple of videos I know I did from my car. And that is because I was like, y'all, I just need to tap in and let people know how the program is going, what I'm doing. I did share in my last video that I really feel that me being back in school, along with the work that my consulting firm is engaging in with this year, first class educator, and that we have been engaging in since our inception, culturally responsive professional development. That paired with the research focus that my group is looking into, which is efficacious, culturally responsive professional development. That also, along with me now being back in service, everything is just in alignment. This class this evening was my qualitative research methodologies course. And one of the things that I like that we actually just did, we are looking at different methods of coding qualitative research. And so I'm excited about it because we are going to explore the methodology of narrative analysis. We're also doing phenomenological, um, but we are doing narrative analysis, which will call for us to interview educators who have participated in culturally responsive professional development and then go back and look at the transcripts of our interviews and then code them. So in class this evening, we actually got to do that. We took a transcript from a conversation with a researcher and a librarian that was sharing their experience about a reading initiative. And so we had the opportunity to go through and actually just document the process of our process for coding that we use for coding. What was really cool is that in this particular class, we were grouped. It was a randomization for the people who were in this group to do this assignment. And so we are all working on the same Google document. And one of our tasks was to document the process. And so everybody had a different approach. There was one young lady that she immediately started coding. And, as we were talking, I mentioned that I wanted to go ahead and read the transcript first. And she was like, she was just going to start highlighting stuff that jumped out to her while she was going through the process. And so, one of the things that I also thought about, and that when we shared out, I was a reporter for my group to talk about our process, which we spent about 30 minutes in this particular group. And I went ahead and read the transcript first of the interview, and then I went back and coded. And so we identified different themes that were popping out. But what I noticed again was the other researcher, she approached it a different way to where she started to highlight and kind of code as she was going along with the reading, whereas I wanted to read the transcript first and then kind of process the information about different themes. And so when we shared out in the larger group, that was one of the things that I shared. Our instructor popped into our group and she was asking us, so how's the process going? And that was, one of the things that we had kind of reflected on was that we were using two different strategies to go through and code. And so in our larger group, which is about 30 of us in the class, I presented and I shared that. And so she was mentioning how when she's doing research, sometimes her co-researchers will say that they want a separate transcript so that they could code on a separate document. And she said they described her process as messy. And again, this is coding, finding commonalities and responses, and just, identifying them either by a color code, a number code, creating a key for the codes. But one of the things that it made me think about is that there are also two other members who are a part of my research team. And so as we go through the process, that is something that I'm becoming aware of, that, when we're coding, how we're all going to process going about the process of looking at the different transcripts and identifying the themes in that way. So I just thought this would be cool and interesting. We've done some pretty cool assignments in this particular class, one of which I'm not sure if I mentioned it in any of the videos, but we had to also evaluate a dissertation. I chose one of my um, previous colleagues, who's also one of my current co-consultants, or however you want to term it. But shout out to Dr. Kevin Murray. I took a look at his dissertation, which was super super helpful, as he has done some research on culturally responsive professional development, but his research really focused on the masking of participants throughout the process. And so I was introduced to coding through his dissertation, in which he went through and noted, it was really cool things that he noticed as far as the hesitation and some of the responses. He talked about certain words that were frequently used, and he had a code for that. And he also noted like how many times this particular word was used, when was it often, or which question could he sense anxiety or any type of hesitation. Those things were noted through codes. And I really like going through to do the dissertation evaluation, because I think it helps you as a researcher to prepare your information for display. And so we use this framework. It's called Tracy's Big um, mm, 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 mm. Tracy's Big Ten criteria, in which she categorizes the research and methodologies through this particular framework. Make sure you do your research on it. I want to make sure I'm saying all of that right. But when we went through and did the evaluations, again, being introduced to all of these different aspects of how you're going to analyze your data once you collect your data. We also had to create a recruitment plan. And so, by me and my group members being, well, it's one of my group members for our research that's in this particular class, but then our other members in another class. And so the assignments that we are doing, I feel like it's actually helping to reinforce why we are choosing the methodologies that we are choosing, and then how we're going to go about choosing our participants for the research study too. So creating their recruitment plan, and really identifying how we select our participants, how we screen them, what demographic of educator we are looking for outside of them having participated in a culturally responsive professional development. So yeah, I just wanted to give y'all this update for anybody that's thinking about going back to school. Again, this was a decision that I made based on the fact that I know the work that I'm doing with my educational consulting firm, the spaces that I'm occupying. I know that it's important for me to be absolutely grounded in modern research, the methodologies in which we have been using in the organization to do things. And, the andragogy, I mentioned that, which is the art of craft and adult learning, from a critical lens, especially when we talk about culturally responsive professional development. Critical andragogy, having the words now to go along with, like, it's just, originally I knew these things had to be done. I knew that there was a certain way that your structuring can make an impact on transformative learning. And so being in my program and now having, like, being empowered with the actual words, with the actual research, it feels really good. It's a little taxing as far as the workload, especially for this particular class. We have some other members of our actual cohort. This class is not taught by our cohort instructors. And so we have other members who are taking it from a different instructor, and they don't necessarily have the same workload that we have. And so knowing that, you know, we doing a lot of work, a lot of work. It is relevant, but it's super taxing. Like it's the end of the day. It's almost 9 o'clock. Um, and the red beans and rice weren't gonna cook itself. I wanted red beans and rice. I had to eat. Still just life, all of the things. But I'm excited to be 2 years into the program, year two, first semester, week 11. I'm still very much so um, excited about doing this research. Um, and just seeing the alignment too. I think that matters. I think knowing that all of the work that I am doing, being back in practice, teaching English class, I did share. I'm gonna talk about that like super in depth. That was like a whole um assignment from the Most High that I was given like do this now, like immediately. And knowing the relevance that it has with the research, with the future of first class educator, and it feels good. It feels good. A lot of it is the mindset as well. I think as long as you have a good mindset and you know that everything is aligned for a higher purpose, that definitely keep you grounded. But I love it too. I love learning, and I love when it makes sense. I love when it makes sense. It makes sense. And I just like sharing this journey because I know, paying for a degree is kind of like crazy work. The information that I'm learning should be absolutely free. And I'm not just saying that like information should just be free for those who desire it. If you don't want it, that's cool too. But it should definitely be free. It should definitely be free. And we should definitely have like more access to the opportunities. I can't say that I've seen any program like the one that I'm in. Again, it's in racial and social justice. Educational leadership is out of the University of Missouri St. Louis. I'm very grateful for my instructors. I'm grateful for them still being relentless in sharing their passion and their knowledge in this program, especially with the political climate. I think a lot of times we, kind of take for granted the political climate that we live in America really does impact everything very severely. And with all of the initiatives and changes that was made earlier this year with the rolling back of DEI initiatives and a lot of universities, closing down their DEI departments and rolling back initiatives and programs. Our program survived. Thank you, God. Our program survived. We didn't have to do a name change or anything like that. But a lot of the topics that we talk about are very much relevant. They're relevant in terms of, organizational success, student success, marginalized student success. And I know that majority of the people that are in my program who serve are dealing with so many issues. They're dealing with so many issues that are systemic to this hierarchy that was established here in Western society. And if we don't take action on trying to do what we can do, right? Again, this is a big old giant system that we trying to penetrate. And I think my best way of dealing with knowing that it's a large system is just doing what I can. First class educator, we do what we can and we do the best that we can. And I'm just thankful for everybody that has assisted me on this journey, for every opportunity that I've been extended to serve, for first class educator to really come in and assist organizations, whether we're working with international teachers, beginning teachers, or rolling out our culturally responsive professional development. this journey, we year 6, this journey, it feels good. It feels really good. And so I'm happy to continue, happy to document the process. Again, just submitting just confidence and super positive vibes to anybody that is looking to start their journey. If you own your journey, if you pause your journey, let's keep going, chat. Let's keep going. We got work to do. The work ain't going to, just like them red beans and rice wasn't gonna cook it. And it was fire. I'm not gonna hold you. The red beans and rice was fire. So I'm about to hop off of here. A little side note, I just started taking dance lessons. A lot of my friends, Upper East have been encouraging me to take some formal lessons so that I can be grown with the grown folks. And so before I go to bed tonight, I am going to practice. I'm gonna practice my dancing and just a little, a little step in action, some light, some light, some light. But yeah, I just want to tap in with y'all. It's that time. It's that time. Uh, y'all have a great night. Salute to all of my educators. Thank you for your service. Losha Brooks, you know it goes down. Follow me on all social media, Losha Power Moves. This is October the 5th, 2025. And when I say y'all, it's super up from her. It's a lot going on, but I cannot wait to look back on this and know like everything was worth it. Everything was worth it. And shout out to everybody that I'm tapped in with. Like, I love y'all. Like, I really love y'all. My family, my friends, first class educator, everybody that's just tapped in. I appreciate everybody. Y'all have a good one. We chat. We chat.